Okay, good morning, sweet peas. Listen, if you want to really understand what this video is about, you need to look in the description of this YouTube video, and then, because there's going to be a YouTube title in it. And what you need to do is go into YouTube, and, go into the description of this YouTube video. Hang on a second. Sorry, but that motorcycle's a pain in the butt. What you need to do is go into the description of this YouTube video, and look for a YouTube title. Okay? Copy and paste it into YouTube before you watch this video, because this video is a continuation of that one. When I was making that video, the batteries ran out while I was in the middle of talking. So in order for you to be able to understand this video in reference to its statements, these statements are building off what was in that video. So I apologize that you have to go through this in order to be able to get a full grasp and a holistic picture to understand these statements, because these statements are building on what was in that video. So it'll just take a few seconds out of your time in order to do that, but I guarantee you that if you do, you will be glad that you did. My name is Leslie Williams, and I am in San Diego, California. I make these videos to inform, to expose the truth concerning the factual realities of these organized stalking, gang stalking expeditions. Now, I was talking about brain entrainment, neural enslavement, and some of the criminal motivations that organized stalking, gang stalking perpetrators have for their targets. Now, me being here in San Diego, California, there is no reason why any of my family members should know that I'm here, and there is no reason why any individual that is involved in gang stalking should know that I am in San Diego, because when I came out here on August 8, 2011, I made a decision before I even got on the Greyhound bus to come here, that I was not going to get myself associated with anybody at the acquaintance level, the friendship level, the intimate level, or any level whatsoever in reference to social relationships, because I knew in my heart and in my soul, and with every, I know you're gonna probably think this sounds a little drastic, but with every fiber of my being, that I was going to be gang stalked out here again. And what do I mean by again? When I was out here in 2006, between 1 and 38 days, I was subjected to this criminality for every single day when I was out here in 2006, between 1 and 38 days. Back then, though, I did not have a name for it, but I did make some email files and send emails to Amnesty International and to a prosecutor in Michigan concerning some of the things that had happened to me in Michigan and what was currently happening to me in San Diego. And I made these emails from the Point Loma Library in San Diego County, where I was describing about some of the things that I was experiencing in San Diego and at the Point Loma Library, including by library staff. Now, the San Diego police played what is known in gang stalking expeditions as a street theater towards me, which was designed and then implemented in order to coerce me and influence me to go back to Michigan, and which is what I did, where some of the most unconscionable crimes that the human mind can conceive happened to me. I fled Michigan and went in April of 2011, okay, and I'm talking about the crimes continued on an everyday basis from 2006 up until the date I left in April of 2011. I then left and went to Connecticut for a few months. I was gang stalked from Michigan to Connecticut, so I had to get the hell out of there, okay. So what I did was, hang on a second. So what I did was I made a conscious choice to come here to San Diego, because they do create homelessness of targets. And if you investigate, if you've never heard of gang stalking or organized stalking before, the very first day that you go to research this criminality on the internet, you will come to discover that creating homelessness of targets is one of their main objectives. It's literally one of the first things that you will discover about gang stalking. Okay, so I made a decision as a result of the experience that I've had, and since I discovered what was happening to me was gang stalking on June 9, 2009, I was able to make more healthy choices in reference to how I could respond to what was happening to me. Okay, now, so I made a choice before I came back out here in San Diego that I was not going to get involved with anybody. I was not going to tell anybody my name or nothing. I made a choice to come back out here to San Diego, mostly because I knew that the homelessness was, if I got another apartment, no matter what state I went to, the homelessness would be created again. And they do this to every targeted individual. I've read targets' blogs, books, Okay, I've listened to their testimony at YouTube where they are stalked to multiple apartments, motel rooms, homeless shelters. That's right, multiple. And since through my own experience, I already knew that it was going to happen to me again. Remember, I was gang stalked out here from Michigan to San Diego in 2006, from Michigan to Connecticut. And then they had the dumb audacity to gang stalk me again from Connecticut to back to San Diego. Except this time, between the 2006 and the 2009 up through 2011, I developed my own strategies to catch these criminalities, in which I have, undisputably. Now, I had made sure that all my YouTube videos and blogs were titled Learning Disabled Woman Either Being Gang Stalked or Tortured. I did not put my name in any of the description of any of my YouTube videos. That's right. That's right. So, how did they know who I am? In order to pull some of the crap that they pulled, and the evidence that I have literally obtained, audio evidence, video evidence, and paper trail evidence that I have obtained since I've been back out here. How did they know I came back out here is the question. Now, gang stalking and organized stalking, the criminalities that have happened to me since I've been back out here in San Diego since August 8, 2011, tie directly into the theme of the statements that were made by me in 2006 in those emails, which I still have. So why won't the San Diego police investigate these criminalities? I'm here to also today to tell you, fellow American citizens, that the San Diego Sheriff's Department's specific officers are engaging in overt sexual harassment to me. And one time, on one occasion, on February 20th, inside of the Hall of Justice 2013, they engaged in direct sexual harassment of me. That's right, while gang stalking was happening around me. Yesterday, I was literally, overtly, indirectly sexually harassed by a San Diego Sheriff's officers. Now, organized stalking and gang stalking expeditions, hang on one second. What they attempt to do is to mentally rape a target, and to also, I'm gonna make a description here that you might not understand, but if you research the description, you might be able to get a pictorial representation in reference to what I mean. Every individual has their own self-accusation and their own self-determination about the self-accusation is basically who a person is. Hang on one second. Who a person is mentally, spiritually, emotionally, socially, and so on and so forth. What kind of a person they are. And since we have laws in the United States, laws that are supposed to protect our constitutionally guaranteed rights and our civil rights, then as long as we're not breaking the law in any way, shape, or form, then we should be able to walk in society and expect not to be sexually harassed, sexually violated, psychologically battered, psychologically harassed, stalked, and then all the other different types of criminalities that are directly connected to organized stalking and gang stalking. And our law enforcement agencies are supposed to guarantee that our rights are protected in reference to criminalities at least being investigated. Honestly, okay, without any obstruction of justice or conspiracy under the color of authority. That's right. Or in obstruction of justice, even when it comes to materials of discovery, which is evidence. We expect this from our law enforcement because it's our right to expect these things. Now, when we become actual victims of these criminal freaks, and excuse my directness, but if you knew what I know, and if you have even experienced one episode of what I have experienced from specific law enforcement officers in San Diego County, and even outside of San Diego, I don't even think I've been. Oh yeah, I have. I went to Yucca Valley for one week. If you were subjected to the criminalities, okay, that I've been subjected to by specific law enforcement officers here in California, you would shake your head in thorough disgust, and you would hope that one day that these criminal freaks would at least lose their jobs. Now, their whole goal is not to only cause a psychological and spiritual wound, but it's also to poke it, like adding salt, rubbing salt on the wound. And this is done because this is literally part of organized gang stalking. Okay? Basically what they want to do is make you, they want to basically create what is known as menticide, where they literally kill who you are mentally, in order to send you a message that you and your life is no longer your own, and we're here to make you notice and realize that you and your life, including your body, okay, and what you believe and every aspect of all your civil rights is totally gone and no longer your own. That's right. Now, gang stalking and organized stalking is achieved through organized crime members that are in this system. Okay? And as a result of them tracking and surveilling a target in real time at all times, they know where a target's at. That's how they're able to place the crafted harassment around a target for a targeted individual to experience along all the routes every single day. It's the only way that they could achieve it is through the tracking of a target, including by even possibly hacking into their cell phone. And that can be Googled and cross-referenced and YouTubed and cross-referenced to gang stalking. And then basically what they do is they take a psychological profile, a spiritual profile, a financial profile, a family profile of you, of the targeted individual, and then implement terrorist schemes for that targeted individual to experience in order to make menticide a factual reality, or at least a hopeful one. Now, you know, I don't know about you, but, you know, how do you think that you would feel if your wife, your daughter, your sister, your mother-in-law, whatever, experienced sexual harassment by a law enforcement officer? You then filed a complaint through internal affairs, and then they had the audacity to never contact you back concerning it, and then were then, again on a second occasion, mildly, overtly, sexually harassed again by the same type of law enforcement officer. This happened to me yesterday, and when I came back to my hiking area, because I'm hiking in California, when I came back to my hiking area, I had to literally engage in a lot of mental gymnastics to fight off the mental rape concerning it. It literally took me the entire night. Literally. And I woke up this morning, targeted individuals, after they've been on target now for quite a while, and then how our lives are totally infiltrated and destroyed, we're made homeless, while we're experiencing the effects of the criminality of these people are nothing but sewer rats. I mean, you know, I cannot express it. These people are little they're not even borderline. I mean, they are literal sewer rats. Make no mistake about it. I know exactly what I'm talking about, and you would not believe the things I have witnessed. Okay? These people are little sewer rats, man. I'm sorry, I'm not, like, you wouldn't believe. Anyways, I'm talking about the worst of the worst. Okay? I'm literally talking about in the same league as pedophiles. Literally, if you knew what I know. Now, and then concerning about how the system protects these criminal skanks. And I mean, they literally protect them. They don't just hear about the crime and say, what the hell's the matter with you? Why did you do this? Don't do it again. And we'll protect you this time. I'm talking about this is organized crime in the system that is perpetrating these crimes and then using their employment descriptions to not only perpetrate the crimes, but continue them and then protect them, while continuing the vilification and the nullification of the expeditions and the targeting of the individual. Okay? Now, if any San Diego Sheriff's Department officers are watching this video, you better be very careful. Because I survived Michigan a lot of times being extremely broke. I am not the kind of person that ever gets up, ever, under any circumstances. Be very careful. And don't let me get your name. Don't let me get your name. Now, I already know for a literal fact that sexual servitude rings and human trafficking rings are directly connected to these criminal expeditions, along with insurance fraud, racketeering, finance co-opting, falsely and deliberately and intentionally diagnosing targets with mental illnesses that they don't have. I also know that they're connected to social services workers. This is organized crime in the system, using their employment descriptions to not only perpetrate these criminalities, but to protect them as well. Are they connected to members of the district attorney's office, city's attorney's office? Well, all you got to do is do the research in reference to targeted individuals' blogs. Now, as far as the sheriff's department goes, I'm not going to let this go unnoticed, and I'm going to tell you why. Targeted individuals, when they wake up in the morning, they wake up in psychological shock because their environment has changed. in reference to, we have so much potential. Human beings have so much potential, and I don't give a shit, excuse my language, but I don't want you to take this the wrong way, but I'm talking about every single human being. I don't care what color you are, what faith you are, or what lack of faith you are in reference to spirituality. Human beings have a lot of potential, okay? We hope to, once we get to be a young age, like 19, 20, 21, we start to realize we got to go to university or college or trade school, whatever, in order to be able to get a trade going so we can, secure some type of future, get married, have children, and then secure a future for them, if possible. Well, organized stalking and gang stalking targets have every single aspect of our lives totally and completely destroyed by these criminal sewer rats that are in the system, who literally take over our lives and completely destroy it, and then literally have the audacity to try and human traffic us and use us as straw people for money and insurance fraud. Okay, so I'm here today to tell you, fellow American citizens, when you might, I don't know if anybody's watching this might think that I got a lot of nerves talking about law enforcement the way I do. Let me help you understand something. Law enforcement individuals that are involved in these criminalities, as far as I'm concerned, they're nothing but sewer rats, filthy animals. I don't know how clear I can say it. Do you understand what I'm saying? So, if any law enforcement is out there is watching this video in reference to what I'm stating right now, don't ever, ever think that I will respect you in any way, shape, or form. I will use creative strategies to box your name in, and then wait until I can legally have you prosecuted. And make no mistake about it. Make no mistake about this factual reality. I will never, ever stop, ever, ever. If you affect my life in any way, I will never stop, ever, until you are exposed, embarrassed, that's right, and legally prosecuted. Make no mistake about this. Okay? Now, my little ability to have children was murdered as a result of what the individuals did in 2006 out here in San Diego. So if you have children, you look at them. If you look at them and you think to yourself, how do you think you would think or feel if someone walked into your home and stole your child? How do you think that you would feel? If you honestly review that, then you'll understand where my and this is not including what they're doing to my fellow targets. Okay? In closing, I have an unmeasurable love for my fellow targets. Make no mistake about this. I woke up in psychological shock like I do every morning, and I thought to myself, what's the use? If this video stops when I'm in the middle of talking, just look in the description of this YouTube video for YouTube title. That'll be a continuation of these statements. And I thought this morning, what's the use? Somebody like me, it's bad enough for any individual to try and get help from the system because of how the system uses the system to protect itself. But when we have criminals in the system who have literally set themselves up in employment descriptions to protect their criminality that they're actually involved in, that they're using the system for, how can you get help? Syndicated judges, syndicated prosecutors, syndicated district attorney's office members, syndicated police officers, syndicated lawyers. How can you as an average person get any help? How can you get help? You can't. So the only thing that you can do is create your own strategies to box these criminal skanks in and keep them in that box until you can expose them. Let me tell you something right now. I woke up this morning like I do practically every morning in psychological shock as a result of noticing the physical reality that I'm living in because of these whores, okay, and these sewer rats. And I started thinking to myself, what's the use? Because I got all the perpetrators are using the system to protect their skankness. Sorry. Or their criminality. So why do I keep doing what I'm doing? And guess what I did? I looked up, and guess what I saw? I saw a young girl on her way to school. And I thought to myself, that's why I keep doing what I'm doing. You know? So anyways, and I want to make another statement here. If you're an unsyndicated individual that's in the system, including police officers that are watching this video, watch your butt. Watch your butt. Because these idiots will target police officers as well. Okay? I'm not going to let these whores that are in the system, steal the normalcy of how I process information and my worldview. Okay? They want you to try and believe that as a result of their craftedness. They want you to believe that the entire world is against you as a result of how many people they get to harass you and how many different police officers they'll get to harass you, doing specific things, usually sensitization methods, because their whole goal is to change your worldview about what society is really actually about. And if you investigate these criminalities, you will see that I'm telling you the truth concerning those statements. Now, I already know for a fact that not every police officer or every firefighter is involved in organized stalking or gang stalking. I know this for a fact. And I will not let these criminals make me believe that every individual in society that's harassing me even knows about gang stalking, because a lot of individuals that they use to harass a target in specific ways don't even know what they're doing is gang stalking. But I will tell you this, the reason why these criminalities are happening on such a feverish scale in every state and why they're getting away with their crimes is because these little whores are in the system. Okay? So anyways, I do what I do in order to be able to inform, to expose the truth because of the heinous nature of these criminalities. Okay? And I'm here today to tell you right now, fellow American citizens, I'm not crazy in any way, shape, or form. I'm not involved in any illegal or criminal activity whatsoever, and I am not a threat to myself or others. I do what I do in order to inform, to expose the truth, so we can make healthy decisions based on the educated knowledge that we derive from the research concerning the descriptions of what I bring to light. And that's the reason why I do what I do. Okay? As far as the San Diego Sheriff's Department, I'm going to tell you something right now. Okay? I never did anything to any of your police officers. Your police officers came into my world, into my life, along my routes, and decided to insert their criminality in my life. Now, I don't have no apologies to make to you concerning the fact that you are now in my life and I don't let you go home. Which means that you are never going to ever leave me. I am never going to stop exposing you until the criminals that you use to mentally and psychologically batter me and sexually harass me get prosecuted. It's that simple, literally. And I don't need to expand on it any further. Now, you can laugh. You can pick up your cup of coffee and you can walk away from your desktop right now and you can laugh and you can say, this woman thinks she's going to make heads or tails of this. Watch, because time will tell. Okay? I hope you laugh, and I hope you remain in your vanity. I really do. Okay? Because I will never stop ever until you're exposed. Believe this thing. Believe it. I gotta go. I'm in San Diego, California, and my name is Leslie Williams. I'm not afraid of any individual that's in the system. You do what you gotta do, and believe me, I will do everything legally to make sure that you're exposed. For the sake of myself, what you've done to me in my life, what you think that you can do once you enter my physical proximity and walk away with it. Your officers are engaging in criminality. You do not have the right to do that. I don't pay my taxes to pay your salary for you to walk up and down the road and think that you can treat me any way that you think you can and then walk away, including what you're doing to my fellow targets like Miraj Shahan. She's mentioning the San Diego Sheriff's Department in her petition online. She's a gang stalking target as well. Understand this and be clear. I will never stop ever until you're exposed for what you do. And this also includes concerning what Oceanside Police Department and the Carlsbad Police Department and what it appears the California Highway Patrol is doing to my fellow targeted individual in Oceanside, Bonnie. I don't care what you think or what you deduce from my statements. I will never stop until you're exposed. Ever. So take that to heart and understand and be clear. It's my job, it's my duty, I am grateful to have this duty, okay, to come after you, to expose you, legally, okay, it's what I do, it's in my DNA, it's in my blood. Okay, sorry I got a little tyrant there, but anyways, if you, let me tell you something, viewers. If you knew what I know in reference to what they're doing to us targeted individuals, which includes setting us up to be physically raped, What do you think about that? These whores that are taking your property tax, your sales tax, your income tax, who are using their jobs and getting paid for them by our money, that are literally setting up us U.S. citizens and us Californians to be raped, to destroy every aspect of our friggin' lives, every aspect of it, credit, home, jobs, vehicles, relationships, every aspect of our privacy is totally raped. And then they go after our identity. So, if you can picture this happening to you, what posture do you think that you would have? Any Sheriff's Department officer that is watching this video, understand my feelings and my thought processes are mine to have concerning your criminality. Now, you can view me any way you want, or you can try and attach any lie to me that you think that you can get away with. But don't ever let me get your name, ever, because I will not stop. Have a nice day.